So latest viral trends going on. I have no clue, but I've heard about this Ozempic butt. What do you guys think about the Ozempic butt?
Do people get Ozempic eyes?
They
Do you lose some fat in the eyes?
Actually, there's stuff about people that can, like, right after they start Ozempic, especially as we age, people get like blurred vision right after because the blood sugars are moving around a lot.
But like, how about the lower eyelids? Do they get more saggy, or do they get more deflated with?
So
Ozempic?
why do you ask about that? Because what's behind the eyelid? What do most people see?
Yeah, we go and take fat out, right?
Yeah.
Does that fat shrink ever, or is that fat that's probably like one of the last things to shrink, right?
Yeah, so the fat's gonna be there from previously, and probably after Ozempic because they lose a little. Probably they lose weight and then the skin becomes more lax, so it probably becomes bigger. Right? Yeah, probably bigger fat pads there.
Yeah,
that more people would probably look towards a lower blepharoplasty, which is taking the excess skin from the lower eyelids and removing the fat.
Yeah, so Ozempic butt, it's a real thing. And it's more than just Ozempic butt. Me and Rods have been doing more and more 8-10 hour cases because people have Ozempic arms, Ozempic legs, Ozempic everything. There's
Ozempic body.
Yeah, Ozempic body, where they've lost all this weight. Now there's the excess skin. And for them to build the confidence and get back into that normal daily activities, it's tough when you're having to put on Spanx to go and lift and you're not seeing the results on the scale still. You know, you can't really keep on going up on those Ozempic or any of these GLP-1s, because what that's going to do is you're going to just continue on losing muscle mass as well as like fat mass. But it's overall going up in dosage isn't going to help you much. You want to maintain the dosage, just eat more protein and keep the muscle. And Ozempic butt, not are you just losing weight and the skin sagging, but you're also going to lose some muscle mass. So, you know, people, you got to continue on doing squats and your resistance exercises with that to kind of, like, if you're having surgery to help these things out, you also want to kind of continue on building that muscle, right? Whatever you say.
Yeah, definitely. Like, because you'll definitely drop muscle mass if you don't do anything, if you sit around. But it's like they're saying, like, oh, people are coming out with like Ozempic butt, Ozempic face. Like, that's kind of why you're getting the taking the medication, right? You actually want that. Yeah. So if you actually get Ozempic butt or Ozempic face, that's just telling you, like, you have weight loss. Those are your fat pockets, and now those fat pockets are deflating, and once that's deflating, the skin sags. That's just classic signs of aging, right? Like during training, they're like, these are classic signs of your facial aging. It's like it's plump, your face is like oval, and then like it gradually drops down with age. Same thing happens if you gain weight and then drop a bunch of weight, it's gonna sag, and whether it's your face, your butt.
Just like when thighs. I had like 23-inch arms and I thought I was huge, then I lost all that weight and my skin's like, what's that, Stretch Armstrong?
Like, this can stretch out to 23 inches. You know that much.
I take semaglutide. I've taken semaglutide. I take tirzepatide. I take retatrutide. Do I have Ozempic butt? My wife would probably say no, because I never had a butt to get Ozempic butt. So you got to really have a butt to actually get Ozempic.
But do you wear Spanx to work?
No, he wears
sometimes. Sometimes. I wear more leg warmers, but it's kind of like, it keeps my butt up.
I have heard on different like podcasts, YouTube videos and stuff, people are afraid to lose their muscle mass and bone density as a side effect from taking Ozempic or GLP-1, whether it's Mounjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, but how can you prevent that? Like, or diminish that?
You really can't prevent it, because no matter what, you're decreasing calorie intake. So that's going to decrease it. You're also decreasing the amount of weight and stress on your bones. So that decrease decreased weight is also going to decrease the amount of muscles and stuff you need to carry that extra 10, 20, 30 pounds that you
know
had
what
on
also
there,
does
right?
that? If you get sent out to the space station and you get stuck there for 8 months for political reasons, you're going to lose bone mass, bone density and muscle mass.
But maybe everyone needs to wear a weighted jacket like a lot of these people do these days, just to simulate that extra weight being on them. So when they're walking around daily, that actually benefits you in multiple ways anyhow.
But is the like the bone density and skeletal muscle mass lost relative to overall weight proportional, or are they losing more, like let's say more bone mass and skeletal muscle mass compared to overall mass?
It's patient dependent. You know, I've been on it for, I think, almost 3 years. And, you know, like that first 6 months, I probably lost a lot of weight and I lost muscle mass. But after that 6 months, I've gained muscle mass and kind of kept at the same weight. And like, you know, I microdose and like change dosing, like when I go on vacation and stuff, like sometimes to get cut up and sometimes, you know, and, you know, just play around with the dosing. But I've always put on more skeletal muscle mass over the past 2 years. That first 6 months was the only time I think I lost a little bit of the muscle mass. And the thing is, like, increasing protein, and I wasn't really working out that first 6 months, but once the weight came off, I started working out. And I think that kind of, like, also, you know, you can't live a sedentary lifestyle and think you're going to just lose fat.
Asking for like a chemical way to starve yourself. I mean, that makes sense. I'm going to start it. I've been saying it for like a year. I just want to see the difference, but you saw I sent you the in-body results. I'm actually able to get down my body fat percentage nowhere near what I wanted and increase my skeletal muscle mass. I actually wanted to increase my skeletal muscle mass to about like 2 more pounds than where it is right now. It's already up like 4 pounds. But then get on some tirzepatide. So then see how lean I can get. With like small doses, but not.
But like also the other thing that people don't look at is like optimizing your hormones, like your testosterone, and also your thyroid hormone. You know, like just optimizing those. You'll also need a lower dose of your GLP-1s to be able to maintain your muscle mass and lose weight and have the energy to go work out and be focused and get on with daily activities instead of like, you know, people are like, oh, GLP-1s are going to cause me to be tired and I don't want to do anything. But they're because you're taking them the wrong way. If you're taking them with appropriate vitamin and nutrition and like with a balanced lifestyle changes, that, you know, that appropriate physicians will lead you the right way instead of, you know, you could pay someone like $99 a week or 99, however much you're paying, and they're just handing you the medication and telling you, unless you're self-motivated, which you usually aren't, because that's why you're on these medications, you're not going to get to the point you really want to, and you're never going to be able to come off of them or be like microdosing just for health purposes. Because you're still living that same lifestyle that as soon as you come off of them, you're going to eat bad stuff and not work out, and you get off of them because you're craving bad stuff. You're like, I want to eat some more cake now. So I'm gonna. This thing prevents me from wanting to eat more cake. I find like as I lowered my dose, like I was shopping more frequently online. Whatever I wanted, I was buying online.
Really?
It's seriously.
When you lower your dose.
When I lowered my dose.
There's definitely some effect.
Because
on
I started like doing it once every 2-3 weeks. And I felt like, I was like, all right, I need to up my dose a little bit.
I'm buying too much. So if your wife's buying too much stuff online, that's a good indication to get some Ozempic.
You can offer a nice massage and just rub it in.
Quick little shot. It won't hurt nobody.
Do we want to see the video and go from?
What video are we watching? The Ozempic
Dr. Mike was talking about Ozempic butt.
I don't want to exercise. I'll just take Ozempic. That's a thing I'm sure you're aware of, like Ozempic butt or whatever, where housewives who had no interest in resistance training or building muscularity, no interest in controlling their diets or eating healthier. They just take a crap load of Ozempic and they're like, oh, I've lost a ton of weight, but now I'm sarcopenic. That's definitely a bad outcome. But I would say that's more of a slight misapplication of pharmaceutical technology. And there is such a thing as proper application. And I think in the end, we'll have a cocktail of drugs that are increasingly better at doing things, increasingly lower risks and downsides. I think that's a world we want to live in.
Which one's Dr. Mike?
With glasses.
One's a
Is
real
he a
doctor.
chiropractor?
No, he's a physical therapist or like exercise physiologist. I listened to him on a podcast.
Yeah.
And he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. It's like, oh yeah, best way to gain strength. It's probably based on some research. I didn't even look it up. Is like going to like max like range.
Yeah.
And light reps. Light reps make a lot of sense to me. And max range, like extending the muscle fibers, makes sense to me too. But I swear, that next day I went and did like deep squats.
Yeah.
My back hurt like fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I knew I shouldn't have fucking done that. Like I'm not building muscle because my muscle, my fucking back hurts.
but like the way to work out, like with the resistance bands, and the resistance bands, you're doing high reps. It's not very high weight. And what you're doing is you don't want to lock out at all. You want to go. You want to keep the ranges in between where you're going up and down, so your muscles are always engaged.
I might have misunderstood him, but it was pretty much saying, kind of like what Corley tells us, like, oh, you got to range out with like the squats go, like, and it's just like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm not trying to get that strong.
No. Well, you know, you got to slowly, like what Corley was saying, you got to kind of slowly get there because, you know, your ankles kind of stiffen up quite a bit pretty quickly. So that
you got to get him on here. That would actually be hilarious.
I know.
He listens to a lot of stuff.
Especially if you start talking about black rights activists and stuff. And
a whole mix of things. Deep squats versus DEI.
Yeah. And why you need to do explosive exercises for a lot of, you'll need explosiveness in your life as an anesthesiologist.
I was going to just ask, I've
like
been going like lower,
cleans and squats.
I've been going lower carbs, but I've been eating raw eggs.
Yeah.
Do I need to worry about anything about the bird flu going on?
No, because they killed off a lot of eggs.
Yeah, they shouldn't. It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't reach me, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because I don't want to take the time to cook the eggs. It's just like it's so much easier.
But does it matter if you cook it or not with the bird flu?
I don't know.
I don't think it matters. That's why they took it off the shelf. Otherwise,
they said most ways of contracting bird flu is coming in contact with it. So at least like 3 to 8 people have gotten bird flu before.
Do you need a Fauci vaccine if you get it? Or what? So what happens if you get the bird flu?
You might die.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm asking you. Like, you guys are clearly the wrong.
You get bird flu through is it oral?
Through contact.
I don't know. They got rid of all those eggs.
No, but
major
source. Bird flu? Can it be fecal oral?
Not fecal oral necessarily. Not everything has to be fecal oral.
Well, that's one of the
bro.
routes.
Stop. Yeah. I'm talking about eggs. I'm not talking about shit. I'm not eating shit.
Yeah, but
those chickens are shitting those eggs out,
but I don't literally eat shit.
I don't think.
No, it said contact with birds, so it's usually the bird farmers that get it.
But like, what happens with the eggs that they had to kill off all those eggs?
It's just the chickens passing the shit around themselves.
So, okay. Yeah. So killing off the eggs isn't going to pass the...
Eating undercooked eggs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? Is that number one? I'll hold off on that.
Number one is contact with infected birds, of course.
Yeah.
Does it what does it give you? Does it give you diarrhea? Or?
No, you can fucking die. It's scary shit. It's actually, like if it was just like a little, you know me and diarrhea. I'm cool with, like, I'm not going to die of diarrhea. Yeah. I'm in the developed world.
I'll give you guys a death rate for bird flu in a second. Let's see what AI
3.
tells us.
Wait, what was this episode about?
Oh, shit.
Semaglutide?
Yeah.
And while close
like
contact
Ebola.
with infected birds or contaminated environments. While the risk of human-to-human transmission is low, the mortality rate for known human cases is around 50%.
Oh shit!
You can die.
You can die.
1 out of 2 die.
It's like,
But
it's
like
I
people
got
that
bird.
get it are probably like
they're knee deep in
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah.
We're talking about these farms with like thousands and thousands of chicken in them.
Yeah, you probably get like freaking
Yeah.
like high dose of bird flu.
I'm just picturing Napoleon Dynamite tending to chicken.
Speaking about explosive exercises.
Exercise. I was like, you got the right guy. I know exactly everything about explosive diarrhea.
Me too.
But okay,
It's been
let's think of
great
Chad.
hospital
Well,
food the
eat
last
at
3
Chandler.
months. The last 3 months I've got the first
Dude,
2
definitely
food
got-
poisonings of my
Dude, you
life.
guys scared the crap out of me. Like, I won't even eat fruit at that place.
I know. I look and I'm like, oh, that's a salad bar. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna go grab the salad from the fridge.
I'm
That's
gonna
probably
rewash this
older. At
stuff.
least it's in the fridge.
And then he says, never mind. I'll take the meatloaf.
No, my buddy and my college roommate he'd always be like, yeah, you got to do explosive exercises. he's like, you got to be ready if the apocalypse happens. You got to be ready. He'd do just like random shit.
Corley probably thinks the same way.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to be prepared.
Maybe the
Corley's
strongest
gotta
man
be our
wins.
first. Honestly, one thing I always used to tell myself is I want to be able to do a push-up with something heavy on my back in case I get stuck somewhere, or like pull myself out of a situation.
Yeah.
Like if I can do that, I can get out of anything.
But if you're put in a dire
then I
enough
just stop
situation,
that.
you can probably pull yourself out,
yeah.
right?
So I just
Endorphin-
stopped putting
yeah.
myself in those situations.
You just put your mind into it and
Yeah.
make it happen, right?
Okay, so I
you
have
think?
numbers. I have
On what?
numbers on
Explosive?
bird flu, not explosive
back to
diarrhea.
the bird.
Since 2003, 954 confirmed cases. Half of those people have died. 52%.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a
a
high,
lot.
That's a high fatality rate.
That's much more than
crazy.
coronavirus.
But that's how
That
many
is
people
nuts.
thought they had it. Same thing with Corona when it originally came out. They thought it was a higher percentage, but they're underestimating the total amount of people who have
Is
it.
the bird flu
Yeah,
from
that's
China?
because the sick people aren't going in. Yeah, I mean it's basically like it's like highest number of bird flu deaths are Indonesia.
Is it the Timu
Egypt,
Timu chickens?
Vietnam,
I think that's called the
Cambodia,
bat
and
flu.
China. God.
the bat flu.
Okay. All right. I'm done
Okay.
looking at.
You
bird
sure?
flu.
So I can eat raw eggs?
Yeah.
I
we
don't
get an
know
answer?
if you're
Yeah,
ready
especially
to-
if you're starting to take tirzepatide, I would definitely eat more
If
raw eggs.
there's like only 95 people who've ever gotten bird flu,
And those are the people that are in. It looks like
they're
direct
inhaling
contact.
chicken shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
not.
Probably yeah.
I only
I doubt
have
it's
free
from.
range.
Can you
organic
imagine
eggs.
because if one of
Does
those
that qualify?
if
Dude,
someone
it's tough
gets
to find those
contaminated
free-range organic
from, if
eggs.
someone gets
anywhere.
contaminated with the bird flu from whatever farm that is, that person's life's over. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to prevent that from happening. I would hope.
So how many people have died of measles?
Oh,
Maybe
I
we
don't
should
know, good
look
amount
into
lately.
buying an egg farm, because these guys, if
good.
they're
Measles is
dying
a
off,
good one.
then-
But then we could get the bird flu.
yeah. Buy into
That's called
Alright.
risky business. You know what was hilarious? When egg prices went fucking crazy and bird flu was at its peak, I think it might be at its peak now. Supposedly it's been going on for years. Sprouts stopped carrying eggs, and their egg cooler, their egg fridge, they emptied it all out, and it was all filled with liquid death. The irony of that, I was like, what? It's like, I thought this is where I get the eggs. And then I'm like, I spent an extra 10 minutes because I'm like, Sarah's going to be pissed off if I go home with no eggs. There's got to be eggs somewhere over here. Just start rummaging through all the sprouts.
So what are
looking
your
for
thoughts
eggs.
on liquid death?
It's sparkling water.
It's not
Or,
sparkling
no,
water.
it's regular.
It's regular
It can be
mineralized
regular.
water.
It can be sparkling.
But
it can be
it
different tea.
is like
it's a brand.
I actually like the taste. It's like a crisp water. It's actually pretty good,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah,
weird.
it's not
I'm
bad.
like, I go and buy it now every once in a
not
while.
bad.
And
I actually like their iced teas.
Yeah.
They have good iced teas.
I don't
And
eat.
they're
I don't drink
somewhat
anything
healthy.
with sugar in it.
It's
so.
not really. It's like agave. They have like
that's
it's
so
actually
shitty.
like,
Dude, agave is
not
worse
sugar,
than
it's
sugar.
agave.
Agave
Is
is
it?
pretty much
Okay, see?
yeah.
See,
They
that's
say
why
it
I'm on the
spikes your
show.
it spikes your sugars.
It's not influenza.
You're gonna
it's
need
bird
to be on
flu.
tirzepatide. It spikes your sugars.
Have you guys had blue eggs though?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You haven't.
Blue eggs?
Blue eggs. They're supposedly like the most
Raw?
Blue
healthy
free
eggs.
range. It's those
You
the Vital
probably should
Farms
get
makes the blue
those.
eggs.
Is it lower rates of bird flu?
I think so. I gotta imagine.
I gotta switch.
They
to blue
look
eggs.
better. Apparently, there's less.
Oh no,
It's better for you.
RFK Jr.
They give them
said no more
methylene blue,
food-
so-
food dye. No more
What's that?
food dye.
It's
so-
not food dye.
I'm
I guess
kidding.
the eggs are the ones that are actually something happens, whereas the blue ones they don't.
But with the food,
But
dye
I don't
thing,
even
how-
know exactly what it is. But Sarad's been crushing blue eggs lately, so
Where do you get blue eggs from?
Vital
Ostrich
Farms.
farm?
Whole Foods.
Vital Farms
Whole
has that
Foods.
same free range, the brown and black packages. That same company makes blue eggs. They're
eggs.
blue eggs.
Is the egg whites blue?
No,
No,
what's
no.
blue
Blue about
outside,
the
the,
egg.
The
whites
shell.
are egg whites are blue, and the outside's blue.
On the outside's the egg whites blue.
The egg white's a little blue, isn't it? Or is
no,
it just the
I
outside?
don't think so. I think it's just the outside.
It's just the outside, yeah. I don't know
Is that
what's
what they
special
fed
about
the
it.
kids in The Boys TV show?
I haven't watched that show, but I'm assuming someone turned blue.
No, they do. Have
It's
blue
the
IV
Smurf chickens.
Smurf juice. All right, on to our next video.
Certain chicken eggs produce.
That went completely off topic.
Yeah, yep. Way
Thanks,
off
Dr.
topic.
Back on topic.
Oh, the color of an eggshell does not affect its nutritional value or taste. That's what AI says, but that's all I
But
know.
the taste of that Vital Farms eggs are
They're good. Yeah,
better
I mean,
than
it's still
any other ones. You
pasture-raised
can just see
and support.
you can just see the color
Yeah,
of
yeah, it's
the
different.
eggs.
I don't
It's
know if you
different.
could tell from what we've talked about, but I'm like an egg aficionado.
Yeah.
Let me judge this one.
Dude,
Can you
my
tell the
my kids
difference
won't eat
between
any
the
other
raw
egg.
eggs?
They're like, as
Oh,
soon as you
really?
feed them other eggs, they're like, they
smell
won't
it.
eat.
I've always loved
Interesting.
runny eggs, and I don't know if you remember. You were
I
young,
like
but Mom
sunny.
used to make the soft-boiled
Yeah.
eggs that you just crack the top and eat it.
You can
with a
make
spoon.
real good ones sous vide. I actually did them
Oh,
sous vide.
that's
They come
interesting.
pretty good. Yeah.
That is probably good.
But what's gotten kind of crazy lately is the whole FDA and getting rid of the drug shortage.
Welcome to Age Proof, where we're going to talk about random shit. Make sure you live forever.
All right.
What's that?
So
FDA?
the whole FDA taking tirzepatide and semaglutide off the shortage list. We've gotten quite a few.
What does that mean
patients.
exactly? Tell people, because people call in our clinic.
Yeah, asking
being
for
like,
50
can I get
vials
like
of
80 vials of
semaglutide
semaglutide?
and 100 vials of semaglutide.
I'll get the Mexican stuff
Yeah.
off you too if you have any of that.
So what it is so Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk hold patents to the commercial drugs known as Ozempic or Mounjaro. And they hold the patents till like 2032. I don't know the exact dates, but it's going to be a while. But so many people have started taking them, and they couldn't keep up with the amount of need. And one of the main things was they couldn't create enough needles to inject with their pens, the two different companies. So
Most of their patents behind the pen, not even the medication, correct?
like I was just reading that like they do hold patents to the medications
Okay.
themselves, because I had heard someone say that it's patent to the pens, but no, it's patent
it
to the
wouldn't make
medication.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they couldn't come up with enough pens, but now they can come up with enough pens. So the FDA's pulling the drugs off the shortage list, which means the compound pharmacies can't make the medications if it's off the shortage list. So everyone's supposed to pay this exuberant amount of money to buy these drugs from the companies themselves. So now the companies have started to sell it direct, but still it's much more expensive than buying the compounded form. It's half the price of what it used to be.
But it's four
Right.
times the price
Yeah.
of what you can get.
Yeah, 4 times more than what you can get compounded. So there are ways around it, and certain pharmacies still compound it because there's different things you can add to decrease the side effect. So they add some vitamin B6 to decrease the nausea. You can add some glycine to semaglutide to prevent muscle loss. And then the other thing people are doing is a lot of people do microdosing. No one wants to, because those pens, once you inject, it's done. And you can't take different dosing, and some people don't require that entire dose. So microdosing.
Oh yeah, because it's filled with a certain amount, and that's it. You use it, and whatever you take that time, and that's it.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds, and you only need for semaglutide, it's 0.25 milligrams. It's the lowest dose. You could take 12.5 milligrams with the compounded formula, where with the pen you got to take the 0.25. So, and especially once you get to maintenance doses and stuff, and you want to take more, and kind of titrate however you want, you can't do that with the pens. You can do that with a compounded formula, but you got to be at least 10% different than what the doses come in to be able to
order from the compound pharmacy. But you could still get it from the compound pharmacy.
Yeah, and there's multiple ways around it. Which I don't know if we're supposed to say that, but you could
go to Mexico.
You could take half the dose and just do it twice. Do it twice a week instead of once a week if you're getting the hunger pains. But I don't know how this is going to turn out with lawyers and stuff. And there's so many people on it, and big pharma's just trying to come out on top, and they're
regulatory capture at its classic.
And they're also trying to say how these other drug compounded forms have more side effects, which isn't true. Or
meanwhile, they get most of these drugs manufactured overseas.
It's all China, Turkey, you name it. My friend went overseas to try different compounded pharmacies from different countries and see where he could find some. So,
did he know? What happened from that you got from your friend?
I haven't used anything from there.
Yeah.
But
he went missing.
But what it's going to turn out
he got the bird flu.
What's going to turn out is going to be a lot more black market stuff being sold.
People find it, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, we actually have access to the newest one that's coming out, redistribution, which is supposed to be more effective. In 48-week studies, there was more weight loss, about 25%, as compared to tirzepatide, was 23%, and semaglutides at 15%.
What's the
which
name
was
of that
over
new
60. Retatrutide.
And that has glucagon on top of GLP and GIP.
Yeah. So what I've read is your actual GLP-1 is your semaglutide. Your tirzepatide is actually a GIP agonist that has an amino acid different that makes it also act on the GLP-1 receptor. It's not as strong of a GLP-1 receptor agonist as your semaglutide is, but it has
two
receptors.
What happens when they're agonists to these receptors?
So
what does it do exactly?
It decreases, or is it decreased satiety? Increased satiety. Yeah. Slow gastric emptying. You're just hungry and you lose weight along with it.
It tells your brain you're full faster.
Yeah, all the functions of a GLP-1 tells you you're full faster, slows your gastric emptying.
It gives off the same.
Increases insulin secretion, increases insulin sensitivity.
Does it have an effect on the kidney?
Yeah, it's got, all the receptors are everywhere in your body, so it affects all different parts of your body.
Okay.
Well, overall, it seems beneficial.
Yeah, even for chronic kidney disease, they're studying it for chronic kidney disease.
Heart disease, kidney disease,
Alzheimer's,
arthritis,
alcohol withdrawal, fatty liver disease,
skinny liver disease.
So would you recommend getting, like for a normal patient, you would recommend getting it from a compounding pharmacy?
What do you mean normal patient?
I guess no,
Like
you can't say
a
normal.
little bit
Yeah,
above weight.
I shouldn't say normal patient.
No,
Yeah,
no
someone.
diabetes.
Yeah, no diabetes. Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, that's going to be your typical like medical
off the street.
patient is going to be diabetes, but person off the street who's looking to just lose a little bit of weight, and they're a little bit heavier and trying to control, what they're eating, get themselves in shape.
So you got to figure out why they're overweight first. You
Yeah.
know, it's checking the hormones and everything, and making sure everything's in check before just trying like a GLP-1. You know, and
Because the
and
GLP
not
might work
everyone's-
or might not work, and then if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, then you got to start all
Yeah.
over again and be like, oh, why is this not working?
Why isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like you got to make sure the patient's sleeping enough. Like some people can't lose weight with GLP-1s, and they're under high stress. They never sleep, and they're wondering why they can't lose weight. There's like everything
many
comes together.
factors,
Like you
yeah.
got to fix your gut. You got to, eating whole foods.
It's
like
better to
for
go
it to
step
work.
by step
Yeah.
to get there rather than like trying to look
Yeah,
for
it's
like.
an overall
that-
well-being. It's
yeah.
not a miracle drug
Yeah,
that you
that's-
just take by itself.
I
and
mean, it's a
then-
great drug.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fantastic drug.
Yeah.
But like if you just jump into it, like where a lot of people do it too. They just
Yeah.
prescribe it and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, there
Yeah.
you go. And there's your standard dose.
Yeah.
Take that until you're at your weight. And this is why we see like how many % of people try it and get off of it. It's
Yeah.
like about a quarter at least,
Yeah.
25% of people
Yeah.
that just like quit and never try it again.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like, okay, I tried it. It's just like, yeah, I tried it, made me feel sick. And rather than being like, okay, did you test everything else out? Or did you go to like the GLP, GIP agonist? Like, did you try a different route? Make sure like, is your gut health appropriate? Like there's a lot of things that can throw it off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then on top of that, you also, you look for what the patient needs with what you can offer them to lose weight. There's a lot of peptides that you can offer to lose weight, whether it's like a growth hormone receptor agonist, or there's tesofenacine, which is a different medication that is almost like reuptake inhibitor of serotonin, dopamine, noradrenaline.
So is it like SSRI?
Almost. It was a medication that they actually created for Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But when the
Weren't the
Alzheimer's
GLPs originally created for Alzheimer's?
no,
Okay.
the GLPs were diabetes. So the tesofenacine was created for Alzheimer's, but the Alzheimer's patients in the study that were taking it were losing all this weight, and they're like, so they stopped the study and they dropped the drug because you don't want Alzheimer's patient losing all this weight and becoming sarcopenic.
I know that.
so-
I mean, that would be a weird situation. Like, Doc, I lost all this weight. Oh, really? How much did you weigh? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys feel like patients that you've been prescribing it to, like, do you feel like most people you talk to have realistic expectations? Obviously, you set those as the physician, right?
the nice part with being in plastics is like you already like. It's probably the same way you approach any
Yeah.
patient. You're like, are you realistic? Can we get there?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like, I want to lose 120 pounds, maybe not. But if they're 340 pounds and you go over the steps that it'll take and they reverberate and you get on
They're
the same
motivated.
page,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah,
it
the
might take this
motivation,
amount of
and you see
time.
it, yeah.
So it's patient by patient.
Yeah,
and
it's the same
there's some
thing.
people it's just not going to happen. They,
Yeah.
they're going to like take it like twice and then stop and then blame you for it. Like
yeah.
it's like if you can't
Person- it's
100%
unique
nail
person,
it, but like
person,
if you
yeah.
can tell with like a good chance of certainty that like they're going to be adherent to what you tell them and they're going to trust you. Like so you build that bond, and when that trust is built, like they're going to get the results they want, or at least get them to a reasonable place.
And like our success rate's much higher than a lot of other places because we're not just handing it out. We know the side effects. Also, on my own trial and error, I figure things out where I can help patients with it. Where, you know, some people are like, they don't really know what the max dose is or like how to titrate patients up appropriately to get them to their weight loss or discuss nutrition and weight, you know, exercise and stuff with them. Where, or like, you know, this isn't working. This might be a better thing to try to see if you lose, to see if it works, or like adding on other peptides to help them, like, or even hormone replacement and or thyroid replacement to try to get them to that level, or even, you know, like vitamin D replacement. There's all these different things that you need in your body to kind of be able to lose that weight. And like sleep's a big thing. Like people that don't sleep, your cortisol level is going to be increased. You're going to have a tough time losing that weight.
Yep. I'm feeling that today.
Yeah.
Not because of stress.
It's not because
Sleep.
So it doesn't work when you get off of it.
I gained double the weight back after.
If you stop taking Ozempic or any of the other GLP-1 agonist medications, will you gain double the weight back? If only we had research to tell us this answer. Thankfully, we do. But before we get to that, I just want to say that I cannot tell you about her individual experiences. If she says that she gained double the weight back after she stopped taking Ozempic, then I'm going to believe her. But it's important to know, if that did happen to her, just because it happened to her does not mean that's the norm for everyone else who stops taking it. So since we cannot extrapolate one individual person's experience to a large population, what do? We look at research. And the research that we have right now come from the STEP trial. So there was a STEP 1 trial which showed that people lost a significant amount of weight with semaglutide. This is something that I think pretty much everyone knows now. The GLP-1 medications are incredible medications that help with weight loss. But the big question that arises is, well, if I stop that medication, am I going to gain the weight back? Am I going to gain all the weight back, double the weight back? And so what they did is they took the STEP 1 trial and extended it, and they allowed people to stop taking the medication to see what happened. So when we look at the STEP 1 extension trial, what we see is that when people stop the medication, they do regain weight, but it's not double the weight back, and it's not really all the way back either. In this study, it showed that on average, they gain about 2/3 of the weight back, which is a significant amount. But it's also important to know, not only did they just stop semaglutide, they also stopped their intensive lifestyle regimen that they had been put on as well. So what does this mean? It means that obesity is a chronic medical condition that's going to need ongoing lifestyle modifications and potentially medications to help keep the weight off. And that is okay. No one should feel any stigma behind needing to use medication for weight loss or to keep weight off. We are not all playing on the same playing field. We all have a different biological makeup, and for some of us, medications may be needed. And that is completely okay. Lastly, you may be asking, well, what if I want to stop the medication? I've lost the weight that I want to, but I just want to see if I can stop it. What I genuinely tell people is try it. To go a period of time off of the medication and see if you can maintain your weight off of it. And if you can, that's incredible. But if you can't, there should be no stigma, and there's no reason not to go back on it. At the end of the day, it's your decision and what you believe is best for your health. So if you want to trial off of it, just talk to your physician about it and give it a shot. Or don't give it a shot. Anyway, to end with, if you struggle with obesity, do not let people tell you you shouldn't be on a medication for weight loss. It's just willpower. That's not true. Studies show that it's not true. Do not feel bad for using a medication to help you maintain weight loss.
I agree with this guy, other than the fact that he's chronically wearing a stethoscope in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He's
that's
a
needed.
Caribbean grad.
The steering wheel has a.
He is. I've seen it before. I was like,
Also, he's
Well,
one
the
of
thing
us.
is,
yeah.
well, the thing is,
One of us. One of us.
if the Tesla's burning, you got to go and test the heartbeat, right?
No, he's right. He brings the data, right?
Yeah.
Like you expect about like.
Dude, he's totally right, and it's
Yeah.
exactly what I tell my patients. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna lose the weight if you don't keep up with the lifestyle. You're not gonna, and you got to titrate back down just like you titrated up. You can't just like bounce on it, bounce off it, bounce on it. You're gonna regain the weight. Like you're gonna eat, if you're gonna eat like crap and haven't changed your lifestyle, you're gonna gain that weight back. But it's not the same amount of weight. And just like he said, obesity is it is a disease, just like high blood pressure. If you come off of your high blood pressure medications, your blood pressure is going to be twice as high as it was before. And you might stroke out and not live. At least with this, you gain some weight, so get back on the drug, lose the weight.
Try it out. Yeah, go ahead. Try it out. I'd completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Speaking about burning Teslas, though, I was with my father-in-law.
How many do you
and
burn?
we're in the back of a Tesla, and the bumper sticker says, "This is my last Tesla." I'm just like, you're legit driving a Tesla, and you're like, what? I mean, and you guys know
your
I
people?
lean,
Isn't
yeah,
that your
I lean
people?
Democratic, obviously, but and you guys know that.
I told you guys we saw
but
in like
it's
the
just
car in front of
insane.
us in front at Ari's school, dropping her off, was a Tesla Model 3 with a no Elon sticker on it. Like, it's like, please don't scratch my car. Don't key my car.
I wonder.
The messed up part is they have the most advanced camera systems on them, and
I
they
wonder-
automatically go off, and they automatically record when someone gets close to it.
Yep.
Yet people are like,
me
key
go,
this
let
one
me go.
over here.
I wonder if
I'm like a sneaky cat over here.
I wonder if the
he's got a bumper sticker.
adjuster
This
on
is his
Pam's,
last, so we won't destroy
Pam's
it.
Tesla was. He was a Democrat because he
rammed into him.
He totaled it. He's like he put it.
But
as
he was
a
in a
total.
Jeep though. Jeep's
No,
a
no, I'm
conservative.
saying like the adjuster, the insurance adjuster is like, oh, that car's totaled.
So
Go
back
burn it.
to what we were talking about.
We'll give you double the price. You burnt it.
I wish there were two Teslas next to each
Well,
other.
I got Tesla stock, so the more Teslas they burn, the more money they make because they get all this insurance money.
I know.
They got to build more
I
and
know.
sell more. Thanks a lot. So
Pushing
it
more
works for me.
out of production. What
Maybe
were we
maybe
talking
it's
about?
Elon's plan. Ozempic. Let's go back to it. He
Ozempic.
just had a video.
Was
Yeah.
Elon on Ozempic? Did he claim it?
Does he must go on and off of it.
No, I think he looks like he's lost weight because I
yeah.
remember there was
The
some
newer
beef
stuff,
with
yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. Like he was challenging him to an MMA fight.
Oh yeah.
Because Elon's picture went viral and he was all overweight and pale.
Yeah.
This is the
But
world we
I don't
live
know,
in.
like Jeff Bezos, they showed those pictures. Like,
Dude, if you
He
want
looks
to
like
show me
he's
a miracle
roided up.
drug,
This is
show me
actually
something you
hilarious.
rub on Jeff Bezos' head that makes his hair grow. Now, you want a miracle drug? Give me that. Like, I'll prescribe that to
Elon
anybody.
Musk dubs himself as Ozempic Santa.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This is great. I mean, he's a high functioning person. You can't, there it is. I mean, you can't, I don't know about you guys. I recently lost like about 15 pounds. And it's like, I'm significantly out of breath when I was 15 pounds more doing normal everyday stuff. If I'm trying to be a high functional human being, like it's like I'm picking something up and Sarah's like, why are you breathing heavy? I'm like, I leaned over. Why else would I be breathing heavy? It's like,
Dude, it gets difficult, and that's the way I felt before I started this whole journey. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I didn't want to. I'd sit on the couch, and I was like, the wife would ask for something, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna punch her in the face. I'm like, why can't you just get off the couch? But like now, I'm like, all right, I'll go like 3 miles and grab it and come back.
now he's all pissed off. He's like, I got to stop doing these jumping jacks to go grab you these chips.
Speaking of which, I just got a text because I put away the groceries and it was bite-sized pancakes. And I thought they belonged in the cupboard, but apparently they belonged in the fridge. So those are gone. Yes, in very kind words.
Were they the Elmo ones?
No.
No.
They were for my pregnant wife, I
Yeah.
think, more so than actually they were. For
She
the
could
kids.
still eat them. Tell her they're tastier.
Yeah, I mean,
They're ready to eat
whatever
now.
they thought out.
Just tell her it's like ready to eat now, and so you don't have to even microwave. Tell her it's the safer version.
As long as you eat it before the fungus grows.
Yeah.
And the fungus might be good
Quick
for
and
gut
easy.
health.
Tell me they need to be refrigerated. Oh,
Yeah.
keep product refrigerated and consume within
He's
3 days
he's
after.
just going to go off his wife.
Belgian boys.
His wife's about to pop, so it's a,
Yeah, yeah. You can't be wasting pancake bites. not at month 8. You're playing with fucking fire, dude.
Yeah, she
she's
might
at, like,
deliver
month
right
9,
now.
isn't she?
We might
Yeah,
be
she's
gone.
like 9.5 months pregnant.
Yeah, I might need to leave the show.
Is that Jim from The Office? Oh, no, it's Dr. Mike.
Ozempic, let's stay on that,
Yeah.
to lose
Yeah.
5 pounds. How do you feel about that?
It's not what its intended use is. Why that's dangerous is because when a medicine is studied by this evil pharma that we're talking about, it's studied in a certain population, people who have type 2 diabetes, who are overweight or have high blood pressure. So when you're taking it as someone who doesn't have any of these diagnoses and you take it, how do I know that the risks you're facing are going to be what the ones that we found in the research when we didn't test it on people like you? It's the same reason why we suck at treating women's heart disease, because we never did research on women's heart disease. So when a female patient comes in and says, oh, I have a little acid reflux, maybe a little arm pain, we discount it and they're having a heart attack because our initial research was not done on women. It was done on men who said, I have an elephant sitting on my chest. This is how I describe it. And that's how our common knowledge is of heart disease. And therefore we miss all these heart attacks in women.
He's got some type of point, but if a side effect's going to show, it's going to show on a sick fucking person.
Oh, yeah.
Like if someone's going to die from COVID, it's because they were really sick to start with.
Yeah.
Like if you're telling me this side effect didn't show up on somebody that has heart disease, history of strokes, diabetes, but it's going to show up more
PMI
likely.
of like 60.
Yeah, but going to show up more on a healthy person. I don't buy that shit for a second. I don't know.
Well, and you know, a lot of medications.
Do you need to study everything on every type of person?
But like, no, and all these medications, any medications that you look at, like, oh yeah, all of a sudden some person's going to have a reaction, a weird reaction that's never been seen before, you know? Like even my brother-in-law, he ended up in the hospital on like some fucking, like he was on a antibiotic that's like pretty common, and he almost went into fulminant hepatitis. He was in the hospital for a few days, and we have like our parents' friend who, like, they gave her freaking
didn't follow the liver labs.
Well, no, they gave her what they gave her TB medication because she previously had BCG vaccine and she tested positive on the TB results, and they gave her freaking TB medication, and she went into fulminant liver failure. They had to. Her daughter was her liver donor. If she wasn't around, then like she might have died. Like
that's how she
like
went
stuff
into liver failure.
Yeah.
From the meds.
Isoniazid and rifampin, and they didn't follow the liver labs appropriately.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that's how she decompensated.
At least she didn't die of TB.
Yeah. And like if you don't trial and error these medications, you're not going to like rapamycin. Look, now it's an anti-aging medication. Before it was used to like for transplant patients, and like
suppress
like trial and error of some of these things. Are they going to have side effects? And some people, yes, and
they're all going to have side effects.
And some people have gene mutations that. Some medications work on them and some medications don't. And actually, one of my friends is building an AI system, which actually and he runs a gene lab that like tests all these genes, and like they can tell which medications actually work. If like some people, they, I
hope it's not 23andMe. They just went bankrupt.
It's 23andMe plus. But like what his company's doing is like, if a patient gets prescribed like Plavix, and they have a gene mutation that Plavix isn't going to work on them, what's going to happen is like that AI is going to deny the guy getting Plavix because Plavix isn't going to work as his antiplatelet for whatever stents he has. He needs to be on a different medication. So that's going to improve healthcare. It's going to piss a lot of physicians off because it's denying their care, but they have to like prior auth for different medication that's actually going to work for the patient.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to imagine that you could actually trial it. Be like, okay, see this medication, and what is actually effective for this person. Get this fly off of me.
Dude, he's been all around.
Yeah, he's all up in me. Yeah. Reminds me of the Breaking Bad episode that stopped me. I was watching Breaking Bad religiously, and then there was an episode where they just chased a fly the whole time. And I was like, I love this show, but I just
don't
wasted
get it.
an hour, so I'm done. I stopped watching it.
Chasing
I
the
haven't
fun.
watched it since. It's because he was a high school chemistry teacher making meth.
So you guys know something exciting. Hopefully I finished the flap
Matt,
early.
you know something exciting? I just bought my own trailer.
Yeah.
I got jumpsuits.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna IV up and I'm gonna try this whole NAD and glutathione.
Oh,
IV.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait to hear about that.
I'm gonna record the whole thing and see, because I just want to know how it feels, because a lot of people say like it almost feels like an elephant on your chest, which sounds like you're having a heart attack
Yeah, that's
when you're getting this IV
I had an
NAD.
feel of doom.
The good thing is I got the meta glasses, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should put the meta glasses on someone else and see.
Dude, you tried dying in our office before.
I know. Let's try it again.
Please don't do it. We
Third
have
time's
loans
the
out.
charm,
We have
right? So the second
construction
time might
loans
not
out.
be.
We got to build this surgery
Yeah.
center up. Please.
What else did we have?
So we'll get you a wrap up on the. So it's NAD, glutathione.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
NAD, glutathione, B complexes, some aminos.
Dude, my sweet taste buds have not come back from using the NAD nasal spray.
Oh yeah.
Overdoing it. It's actually like a good side effect, because I'm like, oh, that looks like a yummy cupcake.
I'm gonna see what
I have
happens.
no-
I also
no
started
urge.
Just
IM.
prescribe NAD spray. Is
Just
that
order
usually-
it.
Just
Yeah.
order it. Yeah. I
Like,
also
what do you mean
started
just
doing
order it?
IM
Just
injection.
order it online, like
Your
anyone
doctor.
can order it, or
Compound
it has to be
pharmacy. Yeah.
prescribed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you could order it
He's
on.
an
You could order it
ophthalmologist.
online.
He doesn't know how to prescribe medication.
No, you could order
What
it
do you
online.
order though? Is it just NAD?
You could just
Nasal
order it
spray.
online, but you got to make sure it's credible, because
Yeah.
I don't know. Ours says it needs to be refrigerated, so some of these places are just sending them without being
Hot packs.
refrigerated. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Right.
Those are
You just
probably
have to
more
make
but
sure
you can
they-
get it from
burning
the
out your
compound pharmacies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good
taste
to know.
buds.
No, I also started doing IM injections of vitamin D once a week.
What the fuck
Get my
are you
vitamin
not
D.
doing, dude?
So yeah,
Is,
everything.
is the NAD?
He doesn't eat anymore.
Is
Yeah.
there any difference between the
I
NAD
just take it
sprays and
injectable.
like IV or other?
It's
routes,
going to
or-
have different effects at different things. It's
Okay.
like
Some people take pills. That stuff
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Okay,
well,
pills
it
or-
it
okay.
matters what, but like nicotinamide riboside is probably the best form to take orally. A lot of people like over NMN. NMN, I guess, doesn't get into your cells as well. So these are just precursors to NAD. So NAD and so NMN and nicotinamide riboside are your precursors for NAD, and NAD itself, even getting an IV, it doesn't get into your cells. But people are seeing drastic changes with energy and mitochondrial function and stuff. So
Anecdotal. There's no
anecdotal,
yeah.
No, it's like I've gone to so many different lectures about it, and it's like, it's like, and even like getting your nicotinamide riboside or NMN, like how much
You
of
think
it
that's
are
why
you getting it? And
Zins are
stuff.
hot right now?
Zings.
Zin,
What's in
the
those?
packets.
But isn't that
nicotine,
nicotine?
caffeine.
Nicotine.
Isn't
there NAD
nicotine
in it?
broken down into nicotinamide?
I don't think so. I don't know how. I was going to check on that, see the function of.
I was too, like a
Nicotine,
year ago,
yeah.
and I decided not to.
I thought nicotine's just hitting your nicotinic receptor.
But I
But it kind of
That's my-
sounds the same.
But like I was, I was thinking the NAD nasal spray like affects your brain more because it's through the nasal passage and
Yeah, it
Like,
goes straight
just,
through your cribriform
creates-
plate.
makes sense.
I
yeah,
thought
it
so
causes
too.
your-
That's why you get more energy. That would make more sense.
I
that you get more
honestly
neuronal
felt it with the
energy.
nasal spray. I was just like, okay, I don't need any caffeine today. Like,
I
I'm good
seriously,
to go.
I think I'm just higher function. Like when I operate, I think I'm operating at a different level with NAD nasal spray. The
It's
thing
like-
is, I do that.
It's like Zach Galifianakis on the escalator, hangover.
Just all
I
the
don't know if
cards
it's that or
with
the
his head.
ketone
Operating
esters.
room on NAD.
Yeah, give me another nasal spray. Let's go. 6 more flaps. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So
I didn't know in the pre-op bay you gotta ask your surgeon, did you take your NAD today? You ready?
My
to go?
patient asked me, he's like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like,
Yeah,
I feel great. And if I felt like shit, I would not tell you.
I'm just shaking a little
It's
bit.
not like an appropriate way to lead you into the OR.
Yeah.
She's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. I was like, honestly, though, it's Monday, so chances are I got pretty good rest over the weekend.
Or you got really drunk over the weekend.
That is true, which I don't really do. But well rested, baby. Let's go. How are you feeling? Oh, it's Friday. I'm just doing this case to get the week done.
Can you imagine? They're like, how are you feeling? Oh, yeah, whatever. Right.
I got a basketball game to go to tonight.
Let's go back.
Just roll back.
Let's do the surgery. It's whatever.
So my thoughts on GLP-1s, I love them. I'll probably be on them for the rest of my life. I kind of mix it up, and few people have asked me, like, I do the retatrutide low dose and I do tirzepatide. Like, I do them like 4 days apart because tirzepatide definitely suppresses your appetite a lot more than the retatrutide.
Oh, so you're doing the 2 and you're going like every 4 days, switching
just
back
low dose,
okay,
because retatrutide you actually build muscle, so I'm just mixing the two.
Right.
I think overall for your health, and like people may tell you differently, but overall for your health, like there's nothing more important than keeping your glucose balance. I gotta get on a continuous glucose monitor to see like how my sugars shift with eating different things, because everyone's body responds differently, and especially being on GLP, see how that moderates it. But like I think being on these, like for your liver health, for your brain health, your cardiovascular health, and even your joint health, overall, I think it's a great product. Try to get your hands on as much as you can before they get taken off the market. But they, I don't think they'll ever completely go off the market. There's going to be availability because it's going to get more dangerous if they don't allow these compound pharmacies to make them. It's going to become more of an issue with all these black market places showing up, and who knows, some of them may have fentanyl or whatever in them and like cause some death.
Yeah, especially people injecting random things in their body.
And they could have bacterial infections because the compound pharmacies are very highly regulated. Everything's third-party tested. But the main thing, like people talk about like purity tested, you could be purity tested, but like to be in that sterile format versus
pure versus clean is different.
Yeah, because the compound pharmacies get their stuff from the same place as some of these black market places, but sterility is going to be the big part. Are they as sterile as the compound pharmacies have them? So
and all I got to add to that is I personally don't think in its current form it's like the miracle drug that like you see things like CNBC talking about stocks and affecting like how many bags of potato chips are going to be sold this week. I don't think it's going to have quite that much effect overall, but it's definitely very useful and it can benefit a ton of people with a good side effect profile. It has side effects, but relative like risks to benefits, it's definitely worthwhile for a lot of people.
I think the side effects mainly came out when, FDA still had the medications on the shortage list. They were trying to scare people away from getting them. Now that it's back off the shortage list,
they're going to minimize it.
To the
small words on the advertisements.
Yeah, it's all about the censorship on what they want to
until pharma ads are made illegal now.
Yeah, so
it's the next push. So.